Hello everyone, back for another review for you today. Again, Alex is in Florida, so he will not be here until the following Tuesday review, which is going to be another complicated story, which I will explain this Thursday. Bunch of shit happening right now, guys. So, yeah, you're just left with me today. Sucks for you, doesn't it? Anyway, today's review is going to be a review of a product I have not reviewed yet. I don't know why. Also a side-by-side comparison of two different ones. These are the KAYFUN clones. Now, currently, these are not built because I just took them apart and cleaned them. What I will do right now is I will go up close with you guys. I will take these both apart, show you the differences, and then I will build these for you as best as I can on camera. Alright guys, welcome back. So, these are the two different KAYFUN clones that I have. This one on my left, your right I assume, is a clone that I recently picked up a few weeks ago from HCigar, I do believe. And this one right here is one that I picked up around 6-7 months ago, actually, from EH Pro or Tobeco. I think it was Tobeco. I picked this KAYFUN up and this KAYFUN up, both from Majestic Vapes. This one I picked up a few weeks ago, this one I picked up 6-7 months ago. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart, show you all of the innards of them. Basically, they are the same. There's not really many differences except with this portion right here, which I will leave for the end. So, taking them apart right now. I've never owned or used or seen a real KAYFUN by Sfomesto in person, so I have no idea how these compare to the originals. But I will do my best to explain to you how all of these work. So, basically, there are 5 or 6 parts, depending on which clone you get, / if you want to count them. And yeah, so let me quickly show you this one. This one is the one by Tobeco. There's this chimney piece right here. I'm sure you guys have seen KAYFUN clones, so I won't go that in depth, or reviews for KAYFUN, so I won't go that in depth. This is the chimney, which breaks into 2 pieces right here. This is the bottom of it, and basically the base where your coil is goes on the bottom right here. This attaches to it, and this attaches to the other side, which then feeds into your, this gets closed off by an O-ring where your vapor would go to the mouthpiece. This is your base. Now, this is a very, this is the Tobeco clone, and this is the one complaint I have about this one. This base wobbles. I can't really show you, but this base right here where the insulator is on this post, it wobbles back and forth. Now, this can cause a lot of problems when you want to, there we go, you can see it wobbling here. This can cause a lot of problems when building because when you're wrapping your coils around that side of the screw, this can turn to the side, which would cause your coils to bend a bit and be a little bit more messy. Also, these are not the stock screws I got with this clone. This clone had really bad screws, and basically with a KAYFUN you're supposed to trap the wire under the screws, and the screws have to be sort of flat-ish so the wire can go under it so it can clamp down. But with the other ones it was sort of cupped, so basically the wire was going under here, wrapping around, and it was going down, but it would be able to come undone really easily because there's nothing to really hold it down, and there's a smaller space where you have to fit your coils around. So that is the problem with this one. There's basically one big problem with each of these, and I can't decide which one I want to use because Alex is currently using the one I just showed you, or not currently, but when he uses his KAYFUN, that's the one that he uses, and this is the one that I use. So I'm going to put these pieces to the side for now so I don't mix them up, and I will show you this one. As you can tell, it has the same basic parts. Didn't mention this before, but this is the tank that goes around your juice, and this clone came with this little nifty black box which has a bunch of spare O-rings, a metal part to fit over where that plastic part is if you want this to be completely metal covered, and also this clear one right here, which instead of having these two metal parts, or that clear part for that matter, you put that clear one there. As you can tell, they're the same size, and you would be able to see all of your juice in there instead of just a little part of it like this one is right now. And then you get a screw with it as well. The other one did not come with any of those, so I just got the straight up KAYFUN. So that is an important thing to keep in mind if you are interested in buying a Tobeco KAYFUN. I don't know if they changed that at all, but that's just the way this one is right now. These screws came stock, which is why I bought this. I didn't have any extra screws. I actually used the two spare screws that were in here to put in the other clone. But these screws are completely fine and they trap the wires perfectly. And this base does not move. Now the complaint I have with this one is the juice leaks out a lot easier in this one. For some reason I have yet to figure that out. And it's really bothering me because I really don't like it when my juice leaks, as everyone does. I don't think anybody likes it when juice leaks out of your KAYFUN. Yeah, so that is this one, and then I have these two top caps right here. As you can tell, here are the insides. It is this is the HCigar Tobeco. HCigar one has a smaller chamber. Tobeco has a larger chamber. The airflow, the O-ring in there is inside the actual hole, so you don't really see it that well, whereas this one is sort of laying on the rim of it, so you can sort of tell that there is an O-ring. Yeah, you can sort of tell right there that there is an O-ring. Anyway, here's the main difference between these two. Now, this one has a drip tip. This is the drip tip that came stock with it, by the way. I've been using this one just because I think it looks a little bit better. And so that's that one, but this one does not have a drip tip as much as it is a screw-in mouthpiece. I don't know why this one's any different. I don't know if this is a specific different type of KAYFUN where they actually make them like this. I do know there's an attachment you can buy to put on there which just includes this little plate with a drip tip portion to put any drip tips into. So you may have to go out and buy that if you were to buy this clone. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to build this. I'm going to try my best to build at least one on camera. And yeah, so let's get started. An important thing to keep in mind when building KAYFUNs is the coil leads have to go in opposite directions so you can put them on different sides of the screw, since the screws are on opposite sides, unlike on a dripper. Just saying that to keep that in mind. Now let's continue the fast forward. I am reading at 1.95 resistance, which is a bit too high, but I'm not going to rebuild this. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. This is 8 wraps of 28 gauge on a number 0 screw. I don't know what this is equivalent to in drill bit, but this is the size of the screw. So as you can tell, it is vaping, it is lighting from in to out quite evenly. Not the best coil I've wrapped, but it is going to do the trick. So what I am going to do is I am going to wick this a little bit off camera just because it's a lot easier and put this together. Hello everyone, back again. So I just realized something. I can't recoil Alex's KAYFUN because he likes to vape 0 milligram juices, so even if I did recoil it, there would be no point in me vaping on it because I have to give it back to him in like a week, and to be honest, I'm just sort of lazy. I mean, like, that is the same situation, but I'm not going to rebuild it again soon, so I'm just going to wait until he gets back so I can recoil it. But I have been using this thing for 4 or 5 months before he got here. I've known him for a while. Not before he got here, sorry. I've been vaping this one for like 4 or 5 months before I gave it to him. So I have a very clear representation, and they both basically vape the same. They just both have this one leaks a lot, and this one doesn't have a removable drip tip. So that's basically the only difference between them. Other than that, they are pretty identical, except for that little wobbly table on the base, on the deck where you build this. But other than that, they're pretty identical. Let me just show you how this one vapes. I'm vaping on Space Jam Andromeda at 12 milligrams. I just hit my hand on the table. I'm vaping it at 17.2 watts. Something you have to keep in mind when filling this up. Now, I've seen a few other people say otherwise, but you fill this up from the top the way that I do it. There are other ways to do it. But, you know, there is like a fill hole. There's 3 screws on the bottom. I don't know which one is which. I know one's an air hole, one's a fill hole, and I don't know what the third one is. But I've just been unscrewing the top, filling it from there, screwing it halfway down, turning it upside down, twisting the rest of the way. Now this is the part where some people say otherwise. Mine floods, or not leaks, just floods for like a few pulls, like as you can hear. It's making that gurgly sound. But that's just because there's extra juice in the chamber, and sometimes it comes out of the hole that it just did. That means that there's just extra juice inside that got in there when the pressure was being pushed down, which means you just have to vape through it a bit, but it does go away. I'm going to try kicking this thing up to 20 watts and see how that one vapes. It is a much warmer of a vape, but it does not give you as much flavor. So I'm going to try 18. Still a bit too warm. I think I'm just going to go back down to 17 just to make it happy. So yeah, those are the 2 KAYFUNs. Would I buy these? I mean, I did, but if I like knew what was in them before buying them, would I buy them? And the answer is yes. Which one I would buy? I would buy the HCigar one, just because I think it is overall better, because I don't like that wobbly deck, especially when building, and I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a removable drip tip. Very minor issues. I have no idea what the actual KAYFUN is like, so for all I know, these could be really far off in quality, or they could not be that far off. But that's all I have for you today. Next video up is going to be a Thursday video, and I recently, today actually, just purchased online from Schmo Vapes. I'll link it once the video goes up, once I get it. But I got an Axis box mod. It's a dual 18650 75 or 80 something watt device that you know, you change variable voltage, but it can go up to 88 watts. I am personally really excited for that because I have my Patriot and I love to vape with variable wattage and things like that, but I can't do that on my DNA 30 because it doesn't last that long at 30 watts because it's only a single 18650 battery. Excuse me. So yeah, I am really excited for that. I'm just like giddy right now. It's coming from the UK, so it should be here in a week or so. More information on exactly what is going to be happening with the channel next week soon. Just a clue. They will be videotaped outside of this boring place, and possibly with a few guests. So that is it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that helped if you were interested in buying one of these two devices. I have the KAYFUN from HCigar and the KAYFUN from Tobeco right here. And these devices have just been citrused.